welcome back. Today is day 30 in the book What If God Wrote Your Bucket List by Jay Payleitner. Today's title is Strive Valiantly. So if you haven't been with us for one of our What If Wednesdays, we read a chapter out of this book. It is usually just a page or two, and then he's got like a point at the end. And so it's the author's idea of what God would put on your bucket list if he was writing it for you. So just something kind of fun to do to get like a different perspective. So we are going to read and then we'll talk about it when we get done. Strive valiantly. Not long ago, my son Max caught me in a moment of hypocrisy. Let me explain. In my college days, I was so moved by a quote from Teddy Roosevelt's Citizen in a Republic speech that I committed the excerpt into memory. Maybe you've seen it. Oh my gosh. Then he lists it. Excuse me while I read the quote from Teddy Roosevelt, Citizen in a Republic. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credits belong to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, What does that even mean? Who errs? I don't know. Who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions? Who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph of highest achievement? And who at worst, if he fails, he at least fails by daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. I mean, that's a pretty good quote. Didn't want to read it all, but it's a pretty good quote. It's a pretty good quote. Okay, back to the story. It's a grand little monologue and sounds even grander if recited with a slightly mocking sincerity, which just happens to be my specialty. For years, I even thought about drilling it into my children's skulls by force, but that would have not ended well. Still, they all knew it had significant meaning to me, and of course my kids would roll their eyes on the reasonably rare occasion that I felt compelled to recite all 140 words from beginning to end. Fortunately, several circumstances could trigger such a... What? Pontification? What is a pontification? I have no idea. Jay Payleitner, why do you use such big words? Siri, what does pontification mean?
As a verb, it means express one's opinions in a way considered dividingly pompous and dogmatic. Do you want to hear the next one?
No. Okay. Pompous and dogmatic. Fortunately, several circumstances could trigger such a pontification. For instance, if I heard someone giving too much credit to a critic, or if someone happened to mention dust and sweat and blood in one sentence, or if the topic of Teddy Roosevelt came up, or maybe if someone was talking about great speeches or the need to memorize a paragraph for a presentation. Out of the blue, I might say, you know, Teddy Roosevelt said, "It is not the critic who counts, ... Before I got much further, the groans would come, and I would most definitely forge ahead with my unstoppable recitation. Oh my goodness. Being forced to suffer through Dad's entire delivery of that long quote was one of our family traditions, and Max was well aware. Max also knew that one of my least favorite phrases is "nice try." At a high school or a youth sporting event, when an athlete makes a boneheaded blunder, a mom in the bleachers would invariably shout, "Nice try." From my vantage point, that was like saying, "Don't worry, sweetie, it's okay. Don't think for 1 second that you let down your coach or your team. You did the best you could, so don't concern yourself with learning from your mistakes or exerting any extra effort. Just keep failing, and I'll keep cheering affirmations." Wow. Harsh. As a former coach and a frequent bleacher sitter, I have never included the words "nice try" in my vocabulary. For sure, the young athletes don't want to hear those words. They want to put their fumble, terrible relay, dropped baton, or a missed free throw in the past and as quickly as possible. The good ones are eager for another chance to prove themselves. When mom shouts, "Nice try," what they really want to hear is, "You failed." What? I don't think they want to hear "you failed."
What exactly?
You failed. Get up.
Do it again.
Try again. The best option is for those in the bleachers to say nothing.
Depending on the kid, the coach might want to shout something like, "Stay focused now, let's get it back," or perhaps, "You'll get it next time." If the coach sees it as a teachable moment for the entire team, he may even want to call a timeout. But as I've said for years, the phrase "nice try" disrespects the game and the athlete. Now maybe you already know where this is going and you can see what Max saw. He pointed it out to me with some amusement. Upon further examination, the inspiring quote from Teddy Roosevelt carries exactly the same sentiment as "nice try." It's longer. It's more eloquent. The words are so full and compelling. But Roosevelt was saying essentially, give it your best shot. If you fail, you still come out ahead. In other words, nice try. Well, Max, you did it. You finally found a flaw in your old man. One of his favorite quotes and one of his least favorite quotes are in total sync with each other. So now I've got to reconcile this dilemma. What to do. Even I had to admit that what I think isn't nearly as important as what God might include on his bucket list for you. When it comes to trying and failing, I open my Bible. James 1:2-3 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." In 2 Corinthians 12:9-10, Paul describes how he delights in weakness and difficulties and explains, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." Proverbs 24:16 says, "Though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." So trials are good things. We find strength when we acknowledge our shortcomings, and those who love the Lord will fall, but get right back up. Yes, Theodore Roosevelt had it right. The credit does belong to the man or woman who is in the arena, the person who strives valiantly, who sometimes knows high achievement and sometimes fails, but still dares greatly. Moms and dads who yell "nice try" in the stands also have it right. My apologies for thinking otherwise. Your voice from the bleachers can take solace in the fact that you're in great company with James, Paul, and Solomon, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Then he has checking the list, and it says, while trying and failing is not such an awful experience, usually that's an awful experience, the undeniable goal is victory. You gotta love 1 Corinthians 9:24 when it says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize." And then a little check mark that says, "Don't give up." I think what I take from this is just, it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall sometimes, because if you're not trying and failing and failing, you're never going to reach that success, because in order to succeed, you have to learn and grow and know what works and what doesn't work. So if you give up, then you can never succeed.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
There you go. So that's it for this one.
Join us again next Wednesday for number 31, and the title is Talk to Me.
Talk to me?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. Talk to God? Or talk to Jay Payleitner? We'll find out next week. If you guys like our What If Wednesdays, leave us a comment down below. Tell us which ones you've liked or what you like about this series. If you like to see all of our videos, you just like us, then you can like this video, subscribe, and if you want notifications on your phone from when we upload, you can hit the little bell.
We hope to see you guys in the next one.
Bye.